Good afternoon. My name is Bill Murray, and welcome to Groundhog Day. I've been noticing recently that everything in the day I've seen before, and I'm going home, but it feels like I've gone on this trip before. I woke up today and everything was happening in the same way. I got to Watford and I saw a football team that has done the same thing in 34 games and 35 games and 36 games as game number 2 and game number 5. It's actually happening all over again. Hello and welcome to the match review. It's done. Put me out of my misery. End it. Pull the plug. Do what you will. Just don't tell me about this season. Just put on the blindfold and pull the plug out. Watford won. Never. So Watford 1, Burnley 2. I'm lost for words. I actually am. This club reduces me to nothing. We start off, we show something. The rookery. You can feel the tension in the air, but you can also feel the summer afternoon vibes. Not the excitement vibes, not the we're gonna really stay up vibes, but it's a nice day out vibes. It's shining, sun shining, Saturday afternoon, Watford are playing. Let's watch this and see what happens. Game kicks off and Watford actually show a bit of fight about them. We kick off and we actually look from the get-go like a team that have actually lost a lot of opportunities before to win football matches, and now, only just now, starting to clock that they don't have room for any more mistakes. So it's a bit too late, too little, too late, and it's positive. We actually see some sort of a performance in the first half, but that's where it ends. And, you know, we score the goal, well constructed, good Watford attack. We pass it around nicely. The ball is swung across, and at the back post, a little bit like the Dennis goal against Brentford, it comes to Juraj Kucka, the Slovakian, who scores, well, he thought he did. He has a shot, and it's one of those ones he just hits it high into the net, and it goes off James Tarkowski, and it's an own goal for the English centre-half, and Watford finally score the first goal for so long. I think the last time we did that at home would have been West Ham at home. So that was a nice change. And actually, to be honest, as very nervy as it was, we started to weather the storm. There was a very, very brief period in that first half where suddenly Burnley burst into life, and out of nothing really, we foolishly let them get back into the game and control the game. There was a shot from Josh Brownhill that was dragged wide, and then after that, a chance for Burnley where it's played out to that right-hand side. Well, from where we're looking at it, left-hand side for them. I think it might have been Taylor that put the ball in. But it's too easily won by Burnley, and they get it forward. They get the ball across the box, and it's a really good opportunity, but Weghorst can't stretch enough to get a contact on it. And then Burnley fans are actually getting so excited. Like, they're actually just so happy right now. And based on very, very little, Burnley seem to grab a bit more of a hold of the game. And then we see that Watford actually do start to battle their way through it, and then there's that big moment, isn't there, where Burnley go steaming through, a pass comes through, and the foul comes in from Moussa Sissoko. Real time watching it, I thought, no, that can't be a penalty. Didn't look like there was a lot in it, but then you realise actually, real time, it might have been a 50-50 whether that was inside the box or not. And VAR has a look at it, and that is what VAR is good for. But I will say, later on in the game, there's a similar thing. João Pedro gets himself barged into, and yet VAR doesn't even think to look at it. Doesn't even say VAR check in progress. The referee just waves it away without even waiting to listen to the VAR. So that is two sides of the coin there. But ultimately, the penalty isn't given for Burnley. It's instead given as a free kick. And then from that resultant free kick, Watford get it away and kind of get through that hairy moment in the first half. So you think, okay, that's good. We've actually got through that little period of, pressure. You think, okay, let's just see it out to half-time at least. Try and hold on to this half-time lead. And we do. We actually do. I mean, it's not as if Watford didn't have chances after that free kick from Burnley. There were some chances, but really not enough. The header from Kutska misses, and the shot from Kutska was blocked. But then you fast forward to the last 2 minutes of the match, and Kutska's having a shot from way too tight of an angle on a bouncing ball when it's 2-1 down and we're relegation pretty much confirmed. Not mathematically, but in every other sense of the word. So a massive contrast, and that's down to the players not being good enough. They are not good enough to actually play football for 90 minutes. There's no good doing it for 45 and then completely throwing in the towel and not showing any sense of urgency, energy. I don't care if these players aren't good enough, but show the urgency. But there isn't that, and even that sense of control in a game. We just hand it over over to Burnley. Why I say that, funnily enough, that's what happened in the Brighton home game, where Burnley in the second half start to play with us. They're just passing it around us. We're chasing shadows again, and that shouldn't be done. When you're 1-0 up at half-time in a home match that you should be dictating, you should be making Burnley sweat for it. They have not been good this season. No disrespect, but it's Burnley. It's Burnley. It's not Manchester City. It's not Liverpool. They're not a team you can, excuse to be chasing shadows against. They have to be on the backs of the wall. We have to be the team that is impressing ourselves on them. But no, we go into our shell, and as soon as Burnley have one opportunity, it's like, oh no, the players panic. They hit the panic button, and they're like, as soon as we're conceding chances, not even goals, chances, we're scared that we're going to throw it all away because we've done this so many times this season. It's just not good enough. It is honestly not good enough. So, not really enough chances created in the first half, but not a spectacular performance. However, it was enough in that first half. We didn't do a lot. Misplaced shots. Our shooting this season has been so lackluster. Pedro with a shot way too high and wide. Brownhill with a chance, as I say, that was the one that he dragged wide. And Weghorst had an opportunity, but that was blocked. And then they give that no penalty, and you think, okay, right, get through that now. That's fine. But Watford do. Dennis, unlucky. Really unfortunate. Had a chance, but it was a quite difficult angle. And really misses from a direct free kick. He just doesn't quite get it on target. Vidra with a header. Really should be doing better. Missing to the left. And then again, a shot. Misses, but just to the right. It wasn't in the back of the net. So Watford get through that first half, playing the better football, looking the better team. Not perfect, not polished, but ultimately satisfying, and a much, much better first half from a Watford team that have been actually diabolical this season. So Watford 1, Burnley 0. You can't complain too much. And I think going into half-time, there was a nice little atmosphere around the stadium. It was, a few claps going round. But let's fast forward 45 minutes and there is a graveyard of Watford supporters in Vicarage Road, and rightly so. As soon as that goal from Brownhill goes in, everyone's had enough. Everyone's just wants to put themselves out their misery, go home, watch Ant and Dec Saturday Night Takeaway. Oh no, the season's ended. Damn. Just try and watch something to take your mind off Watford. But no, instead, Watford just... They honestly consume us. But we want to watch them because we are Watford fans. That's how football works. You watch them through the thick and thin. But the thick right now and the thin seems to be merging into one, because it's all really just thick play from Watford. The Watford players just got no sense of logic, but also it's thin. It's really thin margins sometimes, but this season it's been a fat margin of relegation, writing on the wall, not good enough. When was the game that I thought we were relegated? Well, I thought that Norwich home game when we lost 3-0 was the game where I thought, actually, I'm not enjoying this experience anymore. I'm not enjoying being at Vicarage Road. And I honestly thought that was the most drastically worrying game of the season, where I thought, well, yeah, this team really is not deserving to play in the Premier League at all. I think as well, Newcastle at home, a lot of people have talked about that, which under Steve Bruce, Newcastle were in an absolute mess. Their takeover wasn't happening. They're rioting the fans against the board, against Mike Ashley and the ownership. That was a team in a shambles. And at home, we go 1-0 down to them and only can salvage a point when really we should have been beaten that day. That was just illustrative of a really, really disjointed season. And that's the only draw we're going to get at home this season. The other 15 billion have been defeats, and would you believe it, we've done a Premier League record-breaking loss at home to 11 in a row. Like, come on. That is actually a laughing stock. We are the laughing stock of English football right now, and it's just not good enough. But let's move on to that second half, because that's where it all went wrong. I mean, you praise Juraj Kucka for his passion. He did well for what he did to contribute to the goal, but then he goes missing second half, as do every single Watford player. So, Burnley start really, really fast from the off. And I don't know what Mike Jackson said to them at half-time, but it clearly worked. And clearly, at half-time, I don't know, Hodgson must have just said to them, try your best, lads. Try to carry on, and let's see what happens. It feels like it was that vague, because there was no continuity of intensity from the Watford players in that second half. It was like we went out and there was just players falling asleep, players not showing that level of vibrancy. You know, Hassan Kamara, in that first half, I remember that he made that brilliant sliding tackle. That was the kind of passion we saw in the first half. In the second half, it was, we've given it away. Oh no, we haven't won it back. You know, we saw in the first half, Sarr actually pressing, actually getting challenges in. There was none of that in the second half, because these players, when they go and actually have to play for more than 45 minutes, their heads just drop and they're just like, Burnley are having the ball. We honestly, we can't do it. We can't do it for any longer. So Lennon shot very early on, saved in the centre of the goal. Collins has a shot, blocked. Then Pedro wins a free kick, and rightly so, because it was a bad foul from James Darkowski. Kucka, header, misses. Come on, man, you've got to score that. Another Kucka chance, saved in the top centre of the goal. Again, Kucka, left-footed shot, blocked. Another chance for Watford. Dennis, blocked. Everything is getting blocked, but everything is not really being created, and it's now Burnley in the ascendancy. Dennis has a shot, unlucky to be fair, because he turns well. It was a scrambling penalty box, and Dennis kind of wins the ball back, then tries to turn, tries to get a shot away, tries to shoot across the keeper, and misses to the right. Then Burnley have the substitutions, and at the 60th minute of the game, you're like, come on, let's just try and kill this one off now. 1-0 is a dangerous scoreline. So Ashley Barnes comes on. What a sight for sore eyes. Not what you want to be seeing. He's unpleasant to play against, and unpleasant when he's scored against Watford in the past. I thought, to be fair, Weghorst did very little, so that was a good substitution from Burnley, but Barnes didn't do a lot himself. And then Burnley have those chances around the 60th, 70th minute, and McNeil, too many times in the game today, we let McNeil, switch it from right foot to left foot, have a shot, and we blocked it. But then Burnley start to rack up the chances, and James Tarkowski with a header, close, misses to the left. Really lucky that was not in the back of the net. And then a chance for Ashley Barnes, really close range, really good save from Foster, really crucial in that moment, because you thought, score there, Burnley, they can go on to win it. You think, all right, let's just try and, delay it. The longer we can keep it 1-0, the more we can frustrate Burnley. And defensively, we were just looking to fix, basically, the moment. We weren't fixing the whole game. We were fixing very, very short-term moments. We were just like, whenever we got the ball, all right, just get out. It wasn't ever, let's build up attacks. It was like every single time we got the ball, we were on the counter-attack. And that's at home against Burnley, 1-0 up at half-time. No, that's not good enough. You can't be being dominated by Burnley in your backyard. Oh, come on, man. We've got to be more assertive. We're being too subordinate. We're being too passive. Not good enough. Josh Brownhill with a chance, again, blocked. And then there's that free kick. That free kick for Burnley. Aaron Lennon wins it. It's whipped in. Watford just about get it away. And that chance for Kutska, really, just so poor. Right-footed shot, high and wide. Really, really poor. But then, here comes the goal, people. And let's just dissect this absolute mess. Oh my goodness me. What have we said about pressing? In the first half, yeah, we do it with Ismail Assar on the halfway line. But can we do it where our defence need to, in the penalty box, down in Watford's half? No, of course not. It's that inability to sustain the intensity and do the basics. We simply cannot do the basics, and that's why we're getting relegated, okay? Norwich are already down because we lost this game and they lost to Villa. At least we are not the only team to get first relegated. We could still finish bottom because that's how bad we've been. But at the end of the day, the reason we're going to go down is we're just not good enough. And we've known that since probably the turn of the year. Jack Cork, former Watford player, of course, rubbed salt in the wounds, the gaping wounds, the really stinging wounds. And when you're 1-0 up, you just think, 80th minute of the game, see it out. Have these players not got some sort of experience, some sort of grasp of what game management means? But no. And this chance for Burnley, honestly, the defending was disgusting. Why are you giving Charlie Taylor, who we know is a good crosser of the ball, the time, the space to cross it in? Not even pressing the pass into Taylor. But then when it gets to Taylor, press it. Stop the cross. But no, you're just watching. You're ball watching and you're being irresponsible and you're not cutting out the danger. And that is why these players deserve to be in the Championship. Charlie Taylor whips it in and it's very close range. Jack Cork coming in with the header. And you're just like, no, there we go. That's it. Draw equals relegation. Win equals probably relegation. But the tiny flickering light was kept alive by its skin of its teeth. But now a draw we are officially down because we dropped points too much. So yeah, you're pretty depressed at that point, 83rd minute of the game, and we've bottled a win. But Burnley still find a way, and Imran Louza with a stupid foul, not needed at all. And Watford from set pieces. Honestly, I could account more League One teams that can defend better from set pieces. Ashley Barnes wins the free kick. It comes in from the free kick. It bounces around, and who's there? Josh Brownhill. Yes, that 4.5 million Fantasy Premier League bench fodder that no one plays in their teams because he cannot score a goal. We concede to that lot. Yes. Okay? Josh Brownhill with a shot, and it was just pathetic defending. Pathetic. Okay? Centre of the goal. Right-footed. Assisted by former Hornet Matty Vidra, who wasn't supposed to start the game, but a late injury to one of the Burnley players, I think it was Jay Rodriguez. And yeah, set piece. Same old. And that's why my name's Bill Murray. And that was Groundhog Day. Kutska sent to the cleaners really in this game. Second half was not good enough, despite what he did in the first goal. Gets a yellow card, frustrating. Back chat the referee, just get on with the game and own up to your mistakes. Vidra has a chance, you think, oh, this is really going to rub it in. Fortunately saved. Kutska, I talked about this chance. Why, oh why? And it happened later on as well with Louza. And you just think, composure, right? If we draw this game, we are in the Championship. But let's at least not lose an 11th game in a row. But no, there's no composure from those Watford players. When we have a chance, there's no, I tell you what, let's hedge our bets here and let's do the sensible thing and just make sure we control it, pass the ball, or get it on target. No, let's slice it from 50 yards out or from 3 yards out. Let's blaze it over the bar, because that's what Watford do. Juraj Kutska, you cannot score, and Imran Louza is not about shooting, he's about passing, and we don't have players that can shoot. It's as simple as that, and you are going to get relegated when that is the case. And finally, the whistle blows on a season of misery. Watford 1, Burnley 2, Norwich relegated. Just end this season now. Palace away is the game. We could get relegated. We will get relegated. Former team of Hodgson. We hate Crystal Palace. We hate Wilfried Zaha. And I just don't even want to watch that game, to be honest. I'd rather not. I just go to sleep and wake me up if we actually get out of that game, still a Premier League team. Then Everton, yeah, we're probably going to get relegated there. And that won't be nice. Richarlison, like, there's always the next narrative that makes us more depressed. But the point is, not good enough. It's been gone weeks ago, but it's all confirmed now. So we're not mathematically down, but we might as well be. In fact, I actually feel there's more pride in Norwich, who are a plucky team that actually expect relegation and actually make their transfers right, bring in certain managers, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but they have a certain style of play, which is get it to Pookie. Do we have a style of play? No. Do we actually look like we know what we're doing? No. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.